C7 was out like a half an inch before I started training, and that snapped in.
Okay.
So that changed my pelvic floor. And then it changed my stretch off of here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, for 4 days, I was in the most god-awful pain I ever was in my life.
Bet.
I felt like I'd been kicked. I couldn't go upstairs. I was like, oh. And I just laughed. I told you not to do too much. And I'm going, you know, like, this isn't helping me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try and bend his leg just for a second. So if someone, let's say, we're lying down, right? So you have the foot underneath the pelvis and all this is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
This trochanter is very important to me in crossing midline.
Okay.
Okay? So when a person goes to move back, so you see how in Frank's case that trochanter is hardly moving.
Yeah.
So at some point, that's going to all jam up, get stuck. That roll, that transfer is not going to happen.
Yeah.
So then they have to go into lift mode.
Oh, yeah.
You really see this with cerebral palsy.
Okay.
Especially when that femoral head doesn't create the angle. This is about a 125-degree angle.
Yeah.
You know, you'll start seeing 145s, almost like a straight leg going down, right? So what should happen is, and again, because of the way he's wired,
Yeah.
and this is where I got the other skeletal system, is the vertebrae should start to torque.
Yeah.
You'll see the pelvis start to butterfly, and see this trochanter will start looking for the floor.
Yeah.
And a large trajectory by going this way. So see how that brings the knee up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah. I'm not sure that's a very easy move for me.
That's what I'm saying. I thought it would help you to see it on the skeletal system versus, because I think that conversation's been off.
I think that's where I can't do.
Right. So so you and I are alike.
Okay.
So two things that happen in you and I.
Yeah.
This does not line up the same way, right? So in you or I, like in my case, I'm more like this.
Yeah.
Where does it shoot my trochanter? Not only does it shoot it up, but it shoots it forward.
Yeah.
So now for me to go and do this has to be so much more
That's exactly what I think mine's like that.
No, I know. That's like I said, where we had that same.
Exactly.
So when it's here, they're all lined up.
Yeah. Not so bad.
See how the torque can happen, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So when, again, this is jammed,
Yeah.
and this is where I can't play. See again the difference?
Yeah.
It doesn't have that continuation of that torque down through the leg. Everything here is same, so if I take my vertebrae, roll them through here, which is again something I'm working on now with you, because you tend to do this.
Yeah, right. I can do it with my shoulders
spine,
first.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
Versus being...
Yeah, that's not a movement I do very easily.
Right.
Okay. Oh, and that starts to get it to the ground already.
So that would be like I said, a little mini ATM for you to start working on.
Okay.
And play with it different ways. Tuck the tailbone and rotate.
Right.
And feel what it's like for this coccyx to come in and rotate around.
All right.
Or again, same kind of move, but now through the vertebrae. So you're going to open up the whole abdomen cavity.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And also now think of it now just from, let's say, the knee or the patella. So most people to say do that, they would lift. This is a lift, right?
Yeah.
But to now coccyx in.
Like drag it along with
and patella up.
Okay.
So you're actually thinking of two movements at the same time.
Yeah.
And that counter. Or vertebrae. And bringing up. Now, if that's awkward, I think we can do a little deflated ball in between, so you're already here.
Yeah.
Before you, but see, like I said, for you and I'll over-exaggerate if you're more here even, right?
Yeah, yeah.
See again where that trochanter is.
It's way up there.
So,
bring it down and back.
Again, that might be more of a movement that you have to do.
Yeah.
To facilitate that versus... See, even here, you haven't started even to rotate that patella.
Yes.
Versus... And these go into ATMs where you know, you're along the legs.
Yeah.
And those kind of things where you're going up. But I would do it first, forget the whole leg,
Yeah.
because that's where you and I are crooked,
Yeah, it doesn't help.
right?
It makes it even worse.
And so this ATM is harder to do
Yeah.
until you actually feel what it's like to somewhat force through, but I still don't have that same trajectory, especially in this position,
Yeah.
because my leg's just not going to go straight through.
Yeah.
But I would just cut off like almost from here down
Yeah.
for now
Yeah.
and practice these kind of movements,
Yeah.
eventually to get into the large swing,
Yeah.
which again is Moishe has a nice ATMs going from W sitting up and around to kind of thing,
Yeah.
but he does it in sitting. But I'm just saying
Yeah.
from here and eventually to work on,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
where the foot can go up and over. See, this is even something I would have to work on because that already is, for me, is cramping right through here.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes
The Newborn Movement Assessment Guide is available at Amazon.com and at the newbornmovementassessment.com website.
By joining this exciting community, you will learn how to help infants from the moment that they enter the world and change the lives of countless children and families. Out of necessity to help a globally delayed child, Michelle Turner, Movement Integration Specialist, created Movement Lesson to benefit children throughout the world.